Hey guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance on my other channel. On this channel, I talk about other things, like today when I'll be reviewing the new 6-episode series on Amazon Prime Video, Beyond the Veil. Beyond the Veil is a 6-episode drama series about 5 very different friends who live in Nigeria's federal capital and how they navigate life, family, friendship, and challenges often associated with being ambitious women living in northern Nigeria. The series touches on social issues like gender-based violence, substance abuse, polygamy, and interfaith relationships. This impressive, colorful, and thought-provoking series is created by Nadine Ibrahim and Sifa Asani Gowon. Usually, when I review something that comes out on a streaming platform, I prefer to do a spoiler-filled review because, these movies or series are accessible since they're on streaming. But because I enjoyed Beyond the Veil so much and I want you guys to actually check it out, this will be a spoiler-free review. I won't ruin the series for you so that you guys can hopefully get excited about it and check it out as well. Now, how did Beyond the Veil get on my radar? Because I really didn't know about it. I saw it on Instagram via a couple of handles I follow, What Kept Me Up and Nollywood. There are awesome guys at both, companies, and you should follow their accounts as well. I actually know a couple of the guys at Nollywood, right? So I saw Beyond the Veil on their accounts in terms of they were talking about stuff to look out for in the month of March. It, looked nice, and I also saw that Jemima Osunde is in it, and I typically, now that I think about it, see everything that Jemima Osunde is in as long as I know she's in it. So I decided to check it out. Now, was it worth my time? Will it be worth your time? Let's find out by looking at the performances. Now, this series is filled with fantastic actors, but I don't know most of their names. And so that I can do a proper job, I have my notes in front of me. So please pardon me if I have to look down from time to time. Let's start with Jemima. Jemima plays Naima, a young woman amongst this group of 5 friends, right? And she's a business owner and a beautician, sort of. She owns like a spa type of establishment, and she's going through some anxiety issues, right? And Jemima did a really good job. I was concerned about Jemima playing a northern woman, but she did a great job. Jemima is a professional. She's good at what she does. And northern women are very exposed, and they just have different backgrounds. So Jemima not being able to do like the really strong northern accent was neither here nor there. But regardless, she still did a good job. It didn't matter. Next is Nora Ego, who plays Badria. And Badria is an influencer the influencer amongst the 5 friends. I'll pretty much just leave it at that. But Badria is a feisty character, right? And Nora Ego did a really good job. I look forward to seeing other things that things she's in, so as to see Nora's range as an actress, because she was very convincing as Badria, aka Baddie. Yeah, she really did stand out. Her performance really was good, particularly because of her dynamic with another actor that she had most of her scenes with in this series. The very popular actor who was also in the plan, his name is Yakubu Mohammed. Yeah, so their dynamic together was really good, and Nora did a fantastic job. Maryam Booth. Maryam plays Hanifa in this series, and she was one of my favorites, to be honest, because the dynamic between Hanifa and her husband Amadu, played by Rabiu Rikadawa, the connection between both their characters was quite impressive. It felt very real. They were a married couple who had issues, and it was very frustrating to just see their dynamic, which was actually very real, because you would understand, or you would get the feeling that what this couple is going through is something that is probably very common, especially up north. So Miriam did a fantastic job. Apparently she's a big deal. She has upwards of 1 million, if not 2 million or more followers on Instagram. The next actress in this thing, that's one of the 5 friends, is Habiba Tanko Zock-Sock. She played Suraya. Habiba did a really good job. She was kind of like the outsider of the group, and she had a tough time. She always wanted to be part of that group of friends, and sometimes she was in the group, sometimes she wasn't. But it was interesting to see how her character developed, or changed throughout the 6-episode series. She did a good job as well. Not one of my favorites, but she was very integral to the whole thing. Next, we're going to look at the actress who played Zizi, aka Zainab. Her name is Ame Aiyejina. So Ame plays Zizi, and Zizi is an ADC, or like a bodyguard or an officer attached to a female politician. And this female politician happens to be also be the mother of Jemima's character. And Ame did a really good job. I think Zizi, aka Zainab, was probably my favorite character in this series. She just had a dynamic with a few other characters in the series, and she seemed to be like the odd one out because she's a security operative, and so she's not like the socialite type like the other girls, in this series. Ame did a fantastic job. I think that's just what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, I look forward to seeing how her character will change, because by the end of the series, she's probably going to be a different woman because of the things that happened. And I look forward to seeing how her character is going to be fleshed out or developed in season 2. Now, the multi-talented Yakubu Mohammed plays Sadiq in this series, a character that you just love to hate, right? But he does it so well. And when you watch this series, you'll be reminded of why Yakubu Mohammed is one of the top actors in Nollywood. You also had Nobert Young, the fantastic, veteran Nobert Young, playing somebody's grandfather in this series. And it was he brought something different to it, because I've never seen Nobert Young play somebody's granddad. I've seen him play people's father, but I've never seen him play an adult's grandfather, and he did it really well. I enjoyed his dynamic, or the dynamic between his character Bappa and Ame's character Zizi. That was his granddaughter in the series. They had a really good dynamic, and I enjoyed and I appreciate. In fact, I think all of Nobert Young's scenes on the series were with Ame, who played his granddaughter Zizi. So he was really good as well. You also had Caleb Richards in this series, another actor that I got introduced to for the first time through this series. He played Kazim, and he's the brother of Jemima's character, and he's also kind of like in a situationship type of thing with one of the main, women, on this series. I won't tell you which one. You can find that out by yourself when you watch the series. What I liked. There are so many things about this series that I liked that, once again, I'm going to have to consult my notes, right? The first thing that I liked about it was that each woman in this series, each of the main female characters, had her own storyline. It wasn't like Sex and the City or Insecure, where there's just one main female character and then the other females are just supporting her. No. Each of the 4 or 5, if you include Soraya, they had their own things going on, and there was a focus on each of them. You are following each of their lives. It wasn't as if there was just one main female lead. And that takes me to the second thing that I liked about this series. Each woman had enough screen time. It felt like it was even equally distributed. We were following each of them equally. I don't think anyone got more attention than someone else. The third thing I liked about this series was the acting. The acting was really good. It didn't feel, plastic. It didn't feel like they were trying to act. It felt quite real. I got lost in it. I was in it. I was immersed, and I wasn't like feeling like anyone was putting up a show. And that takes me to the next point that I really noticed: the line delivery. And they speak Hausa and English a lot on this series, which reminds me, when you watch it, turn on subtitles. You'll need it. But they speak, they alternate between English and Hausa, and it was just seamless and organic, and the delivery was just, the emotions were just jumping out from the screen. Everything felt as it should have, felt, and how it should have come across, right? And I mean, this shouldn't be something that I should be mentioning, but I can't tell you how many things I've watched from Nollywood where it feels like somebody is reading, like they have the script in front of them and they're reading it and talking to the camera, and that's what goes, into the final edits. It can get very annoying when I see actors speak like robotically, or just talk in a way that doesn't feel like it's the way people talk in real life, if you get what I mean. Next, the shot composition and the cinematography in this series was really good. They gave dynamic images. Most Nollywood series or films, they give you like 2 angles. Let's say that like two characters are talking, right? They give you just maybe 2 camera angles. In this series, they give you 3 or 4. And they give you close-ups, they give you wides, and the set would be really well done and everything. The establishment shots, whenever they're coming to a new scene or a new characters in a new house or a new location, they were lovely. The drone images were lovely. There were so many dynamic images in this thing. I really appreciated it. They weren't stingy with the angles on this series. And God bless the director and the cinematographer and the DOP, everyone that touched the camera or had anything to do with the cameras on this series. God bless y'all. I enjoyed the angles and the images. Speaking of the visuals, they showcased so many Abuja-based restaurants and establishments on this series. I haven't been to Abuja that many times. In fact, I don't think I've been to, it's been more than 10 years since I've been to Abuja. But has it been that long? It's been a while. But they showcased so many restaurants, lounges, galleries and whatnot on this series, and I was like, oh, that place looks nice, and I can only imagine how people who live in Abuja would feel when they watch this series and they see places that they know or that are familiar to them. But I'm not going to take this. I'm going to cut the call. Sorry about that. It's on silent now. Yes, they showcase so many lovely Abuja restaurants and eateries, and it's good for those places, and it really helped the visuals of the series as well. That was really awesome. I really appreciated it. Money well spent, because that couldn't have been cheap. Now, another thing that I liked about this series was how it showcased Northern and Hausa culture in this series. The Northerners, they have, especially the middle class and upper class Northerners, they have a particular way they go about things and the way they live their lives. I served in Kano a few years ago, a number of years ago actually, and it fascinated me how they live their lives, right? And this series reminded me of that era of my life and just the way that they do things. What else did I like? I liked that this series was not contrived. It didn't feel like it was trying to be something that it's not. It felt very natural. It felt very original. It was its own thing. And I loved that. Yeah, this series was very aesthetically pleasing. The visuals were really good. The colors popped. The outfits were fantastic. Finally, I like how this series kind of showcased some of the challenges that are kind of peculiar to women who live in the North, in terms of wanting an education and, having kids, or just to be regarded as just baby making machines and to just be seen as like second class citizens sometimes. It does happen, and it's a narrative you hear a bit from the North. And I like how this series it showed that, but also it tried to tackle that as well and try to change mindsets and educate people on how that doesn't need to be the case, how women can be so much more, in the North. They don't need to just be seen as wives and homemakers. So yeah, those are some of the things that I liked about this series. Without, missing a beat, what didn't I like about this series? To be honest, there was nothing I didn't like about this series, but I will talk about something that I did not like concerning this series. This series came out on Friday. What was Friday's date? So Friday was the 3rd, right? Today is Sunday the 5th. This series is on Amazon Prime Video. As at an hour ago when I was doing research, Amazon Prime Video is yet to post anything about this fantastic series, Beyond the Veil. And I'm not trying to, my aim here is not necessarily to drag Prime Video, but there are certain things I've noticed about Prime Video in the months that they've been in Nigeria that I've been trying to avoid talking about, but I think something needs to be said now. I don't think Amazon Prime Video is doing enough to put itself out there and to support the Nigerian shows on its platform. For example, the last post on Amazon Prime Video Nigeria's Instagram handle was on February 28th, almost a week ago. And it was of Kevin Hart and that new movie of his, Die Hard or whatever it is, right? That's kind of what Amazon Prime Video and Prime Video Nigeria is promoting on their handle presently. They have, like I said, they haven't posted anything about Beyond the Veil. So, and this also reminds me of Richards, which came out last year, which was a fantastic show. I haven't seen it, but lots of people, ask me why I haven't reviewed it. And, a friend of mine, I do remember him saying, why isn't Prime Video promoting that? Why are they spending all their resources promoting that Lord of the Rings show? There are several things I want to say, and there are several conspiracy theories I have, but as somebody who appreciates Prime Video and who is on Prime Video's radar, I'll try and pick my words carefully. Prime Video, please step up. we're in election season, there's a presidential race and political race that's going on. You also are in a race of your own. You're in the streaming race. And if you don't do what you need to do and promote your shows and your series and your movies, particularly the ones that are out of Nigeria, if you don't promote them properly, you won't get the position in the market that I think you're looking for. So I think essentially you need to do better. And whoever is handling Prime Video's socials, their Instagram and their Twitter, I don't know, sit up, because you're not doing. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but something is off, right? Something is seriously off. So please sit up. And while thinking about this series and preparing for this review, it dawned on me that maybe that's why Prime Video sent me that picnic basket last week. I'll probably put an image or something on the screen. Perhaps Prime Video wanted to do a premiere for Beyond the Veil, because in some of the publicity material of Beyond the Veil, there's like a picnic setting, right? So maybe that picnic basket they sent me was to promote that. Maybe Prime Video wanted to do a picnic setting for like a launch or a premiere, but maybe they changed their mind. So maybe there's stuff going on with Prime Video Nigeria, who knows? But I think the moral of what I'm trying to say now is get your ducks in a row, guys. Get your ducks in a row, because you're missing out on some prime opportunities. For example, this series Beyond the Veil is only available in sub-Saharan Africa. Lots of people are going to watch this review now and going to tell me that they cannot access it where they are, which is outside of Africa. And that also, and if you ask me, I think Prime Video didn't pay or license to have this show outside of Africa because it's probably going to cost them more, and they may feel like they won't get sufficient ROI for acquiring that license. So it's weird. You think it's not going to do well, so you don't let it go outside of Africa. But how will it do well if you don't let it go outside of Africa? It's confusing. And whenever I think about Prime Video and the way Prime Video seems to be getting things wrong, it really does do my head in. And to be honest, I've been bottling it up for quite a while, and I'm actually glad that I'm able to say it, well, at least half of it or a portion of it on camera. There's still so much more that I feel about this whole thing that I can't say on camera. Please, Prime Video guys, and everyone associated with Prime Video and people that I know who are associated with Prime Video, don't take things the wrong way. As they say in Africa, it's the person that loves you that will tell you that your mouth they smell. So I'm not saying that your mouth is smelling. I'm just saying, when last did you brush your teeth? On that note, let me move swiftly along from what I did not like about Beyond the Veil. And let me move on to other things. My goodness. I hope I'm not in trouble. Prime Video, please don't put me on don't blacklist me. Please keep sending me stuff. Send me goodie bags. Invite me to your events. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. This is all in your own best interests. Let's move on. Who should see it? See Beyond the Veil if you want to watch something different. See Beyond the Veil if you want to watch something that's not set in Lagos for a change. See Beyond the Veil if you want to watch something that showcases the social lives of upper class northerners. That's a good reason to see it. And finally, and I probably shouldn't say this last one, if you saw The Plan on that other streaming platform recently, see Beyond the Veil. It will make you feel better. Anyway, guys, in conclusion, a big shout out to the director of Beyond the Veil, Nadine Ibrahim. Fantastic job. I really enjoyed your series, and I will look out for your other projects. I didn't know who Nadine Ibrahim was before this series, but my oh my, great job. You're fantastic. Your cast was fantastic. Your cinematography was on point. Your promotional images, Kelechi Amadi Obi, I believe, took the pictures of your cast. Images are stunning. The branding is stunning. It was money well spent. This is when you hear that, people got money for projects, or, some people signed some other people up to produce this, that, or the other. This is the kind of production that you expect to see when significant funds have been released. I don't know what your budget was, and I was watching this wondering how much your budget was, because this was a very clean, very high-end, at least it looked high-end, production. Money well spent. I have to say that. Finally, shout out to Jemima Osunde. Watching this, I realized that there's the power of a personal brand. I really watched this series because Jemima was in it. I follow Jemima on Instagram. She's the only person in this series that I follow on Instagram. And Jemima has such a powerful personal brand. You know, she's a doctor, she's an actress, she's an influencer. She seems like a very genuine individual. And just for the mere fact that I just feel a connection with her brand, her online brand, I decide to watch, like I said at the beginning of this review, I decide to watch the things she's in. She was in a movie last year that I didn't enjoy particularly. I watched it because she was in it. I knew Palava was going to turn out the way it was going to turn out. Well, did I? I didn't have that much hope in Palava. But, I mean, Jemima was in it, and so was Bisola Ayola, who also has a fantastic personal brand. The point I'm trying to make is there are a few actors out there in Nollywood who have a very strong personal brand as actors or as influencers or whatever other thing they do on the side. And that influence actually gets people like me to see their movies, whether or not the movie is going to be good. So I realized that while watching this series, and this series, Jemima was in it, but she wasn't like the star of it. The attention of the spotlight wasn't on her, but the show was still fantastic. So while Jemima got me, to the show, I appreciated the show for so many more reasons than just Jemima. So yeah, there is just so much. I love it when I watch something that engages my mind, that makes me think during and after the movie or the series. So once again, shout out to Jemima and her powerful, strong personal brand. This doesn't mean, quick detour, this doesn't mean that you filmmakers should just cast good, people like Jemima who have strong personal brands that draw in audiences, right? Just based on that. Please make sure that your script and your story is good as well, because that's why I really liked this series, because it was a fantastic story, great script, great acting, great cinematography. There's so many good things about this thing. So while Jemima may have drawn me to it, I stayed and I enjoyed it because of the other things. So filmmakers, please dot your I's, cross your T's. Don't rely on big name stars to sell your movies or to put butts in the seats at cinemas. Okay, yeah, I've said a lot. Once again, Prime Video, please invite me to your events. Send me goodie bags. I was saying it from a place of concern and genuine, love and whatnot, okay? Guys, please subscribe to Prime Video. It's just 2,300 Naira a month, and they have a range of movies, series, documentaries, live events, you name it, they have it on Amazon Prime Video. Let me try to sell small market. I think, yeah, this is a long video. Let me be going. Yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. On this, please like this video, first of all, by clicking on the like button, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button just underneath the video. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews. I also talk about relationships. I have some interesting relationship content coming out in this month of March. Please look out for it. It will be in my YouTube Shorts tab on my channel, but it will also be on my Instagram handle. Check it out there. Follow me there on Instagram as well. Yeah, I think I've said enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.